NBA stars aren't just balling out on the court. They're putting on a show for some VIPs in the front row. Because when the baddies are in the stands, the pressure isn't just in the score, but in impressing them. Here are 12 NBA players who put on a show for these baddies.
Only 11 in the house tonight, Trey Young, but we have 11 from Stranger Things. All of you at home, guys, I won't lie, I am fangirling right now getting to
Trey Young. Let's kick off with Trey Young, the guy known for his finesse and fearless shooting. But during one standout game, it wasn't just his stat line making waves. Trey dropped 34 points, racked up 10 assists, and snagged 2 steals. But his focus wasn't just on the scoreboard. He was focused on the other 11 in the room, Millie Bobby Brown, who just so happened to be in the crowd. The way that night played out felt like something straight out of a rom-com. Trey's game was already on fire, but with Millie in the stands, he seemed extra motivated. There was this undeniable glow about him, like he had something more to prove. After all, it's not every day you get to impress a superstar with your game. NBA stars, they're just like us. When they see someone they like, they'll do whatever it takes to impress them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this time it ended with a W for Trey.
Brunson, shake and bake, goes at Bridges.
Jaylen Brunson. Jaylen Brunson, point guard for the New York Knicks, is used to seeing celebrities at Madison Square Garden. The arena is always packed with A-listers sitting courtside. But every now and then, someone catches his eye and motivates him to step up his game. During one game, Brunson missed his first 2 shots but quickly turned it around after noticing pop star Iggy Azalea watching intently. That's when he started to put on a show, shaking off defenders and hitting key shots, including a smooth 3-pointer. By the end, he'd made quite the impression, not just on the court, but also on Iggy, as the two were seen chatting after the game. Brunson's definitely become a fan favorite at the Garden, and it seems even Iggy Azalea is rooting for him. But not everyone is as lucky in love. Just ask Jimmy Butler.
I'm asking you the question.
And I appreciate that.
I care deeply, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Are the Miami Heat winning game 2?
Yeah.
How did I know you were going to say that?
I mean, you just know me so well, right?
Jimmy Butler. Jimmy had the NBA bubble all to himself in 2020, playing his best basketball ever, and even led the Miami Heat to the finals. When you've got players like Trey Young putting on a show for Millie Bobby Brown, you've got to step it up. During Game 3, he dropped a monstrous 34-point performance and made sure everyone knew he was playing for more than just a ring. There was no doubt he wasn't going to let anyone steal his spotlight, on or off the court.
Off the mark, look at McGee! Hustling into the front row.
JaVale McGee. Then there's JaVale McGee, who made headlines for all the wrong reasons when he was spotted kissing a fan's grandma. But hey, I guess she brought out the best in him because he played a solid game after that.
On the shot clock. Step back by Campbell. Thomas hits. Nothing but net, and the Brooklyn Nets take their first lead of the game.
Take away his airspace. Make him put it.
Jordan Poole. Some people have been wondering why Jordan Poole hasn't played as well since his move from the Golden State Warriors to the Washington Wizards. Maybe it's because he hasn't had as many attractive women sitting courtside. Sorry, Washington. Back with the Warriors, Poole was known for his flashy style and clutch shots, and he definitely turned it up a notch when there was someone to impress. In one game, after taking a spill, a young fan and a stunning woman helped him up. And trust me, Poole noticed. Just moments later, he hit a wild reverse shot, clearly showing off. He was definitely sending a message, and it was received loud and clear.
When he sees an attractive lady checking him out in the stands, he's gonna play even harder to give them a show well worth their money. Nothing wrong with that, right?
LeBron James. LeBron James doesn't need to prove anything to anyone, but when he spots an attractive woman in the stands, you bet he's going to put on a show. Why not, right? With a captive audience, LeBron gave it his all on the court. He set screens, hit tough shots, and dominated in the paint and from the perimeter. James was fired up, chatting with the crowd and reminding everyone why he's still one of the best. Now, LeBron's a happily married man, so there was zero chance he'd cross any lines. But he definitely gave that woman a story she'll be telling her friends for a long time.
And attempting to impress, and maybe even win back, the heart of Kendall Jenner. Okay.
Jordan Clarkson. This next story is a good one. It involves Jordan Clarkson trying to impress and maybe even win back Kendall Jenner. Here's some backstory. Jenner once dated Clarkson, but they didn't last long and both moved on. Fast forward to a game where Clarkson's Cleveland Cavaliers were playing the Philadelphia 76ers, led by none other than Jenner's then-boyfriend Ben Simmons. Awkward. Kendall was sitting courtside, and you know Clarkson noticed. Right away, he went to work. Whether it was hitting shots or driving to the hoop, he was unstoppable. Nothing locks a player in more than trying to show up their ex. Clarkson dropped 19 points that night, and interestingly enough, Kendall and Ben split not long after. Just saying.
Finds James. A lot of thunderous dunks here in the opening period.
I don't know about this, but
Rihanna just walked in front of me.
Kevin Durant. We can't forget the time Kevin Durant tried to win over pop star Rihanna, who happened to be sitting just feet away during a finals game between the Warriors and the Cavs. Rihanna wasn't there for him, though. She was cheering on LeBron James and the Cavaliers. At one point, she even walked right past KD, which understandably rubbed him the wrong way. But Durant wasn't about to let her praise LeBron without a response. After sinking a huge three-pointer, he turned and looked straight at Rihanna, not one to back down. Rihanna kept heckling Durant throughout the game, but it didn't faze him. In the end, Durant and the Warriors took home the title. However, there's a basketball myth, or should I say rumor, that Kevin Durant decided to go for the classic shoot-your-shot move. Out of nowhere, he planted a kiss on her. Now, KD is known for his cool, collected demeanor, but in that instance, he was swept up in the heat of the moment. It was a bold move from someone who's usually all about scoring points, not making passes of a different kind. And let's face it, if even one of the most competitive players in the game like Durant can get a little soft for a second, it just shows that even these tough athletes can be vulnerable when it comes to love.
One of the most amazing up-and-coming players in the league has gained a lot of attention, especially from the young women his age.
Austin Reeves. In just a few years, Austin Reeves has become one of the NBA's rising stars, drawing plenty of attention, especially from young women his age. Take this game from a couple of seasons ago as an example. It all kicked off when Austin literally fell into a girl's lap courtside, sending drinks flying everywhere. Talk about a show. Whether he felt bad or just liked what he saw, Austin was unstoppable for the rest of the game. He led the Lakers back from a 14-point deficit with some incredible moves, like a smooth up and under and a tough turnaround jumper. Some say it was his competitive nature kicking in, but maybe he was just trying to make that fan smile. Either way, he definitely left an impression.
A more recent moment when Brooklyn Nets rising star Cam Thomas crossed paths with someone who made him completely lose his cool.
Cam Thomas. Fast forward to a more recent moment when the Brooklyn Nets rising star Cam Thomas found himself completely losing his cool. The cause? Eileen Gu, the Olympic gold medalist who's made a name for herself with both her athleticism and charm. During a game between the Nets and the Wizards, Cam was in full focus, giving it his all on the court until he spotted Eileen in the crowd. The real kicker came after the game, during an interview, when Cam was asked about his performance. He was so flustered that he could barely get his words out, clearly distracted by thoughts of Eileen. It's one thing to perform well on the court, but trying to keep your composure when you're smitten, that's a whole other challenge. For Cam that day, Eileen was the true star. It was a priceless, candid moment that reminded us all how a crush can shake even the most composed NBA players.
Luka Donic of the Dallas Mavericks, for example. He made headlines a few years ago when a gorgeous woman caught his attention from the side of the court. Only thing was, she wasn't a paying fan. She was a referee. As usual, Luka was doing his thing on the court with his incredible range.
Luka Doncic. It's not always fans that basketball players are trying to impress. Take Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks, for example. A few years ago, he made headlines when a stunning woman caught his eye courtside, but she wasn't a fan. She was a referee. Luka was doing his thing on the court, hitting shots with his usual incredible range. But when he complained to the ref about a missed foul call, he might have been laying the groundwork for a classic Luka moment, using the line he'd probably said in the mirror a few times. Scoring over 28 points a game, Luka's got game both on and off the court. Even the commentators were caught off guard by the playful interaction. But even with his game on point, Luka's already taken. No worries, though. He's not the only one trying to impress. Immanuel Quickley. Lastly, let's talk about Immanuel Quickley, who found himself in a bit of a dilemma. Millie Bobby Brown or Ice Spice? That's a tough call, right? But when Ice Spice showed up courtside, it was clear where his attention was. In a game where he was already playing with serious intensity, Quickley kicked it up a notch, probably with her in mind. Every shot seemed like it was saying, "Hey, check this out." He hit a couple of threes, showing off that smooth game of his. And in the end, he didn't disappoint, scoring big with a 34-point, 10-assist performance, all while catching the attention of his celebrity fan. Quickley wasn't just playing for the highlight reels. His performance was fueled by his courtside crush. When you know someone special is watching, the stakes just feel higher. And that night, he wasn't just chasing points. He was out to leave a lasting impression on Ice Spice. It's clear that these players don't just play for the game. They're all out there impressing their fans and showing off for someone special. Sometimes it's all about the W on the scoreboard, and sometimes it's about the W in the stands.